going on, folks? It's your guy, Tommy Gann, TG here, Ice Cold Sports, America's Sports Show. Happy to be back with you, beautiful people, live on Instagram Live. It was a nice weekend. It was a good weekend. Ran the Boulder in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. I tried doing a broadcast there. I haven't been able to pull up the footage from that broadcast. Sadly, don't know what happened. I tried to broadcast like the last, little loop around the stadium because I thought it'd be really cool to show, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted to. That's fine. Life is a learning process and a learning curve and all that motivational stuff. Different things to get into. First of all, my legs killing me. Just awful. Killing me. I've been mostly training for the Boulder, doing the elliptical. Not the same thing at all. Obviously, actually running is much higher impact than just doing the elliptical, but my goodness, my legs, just killer. Just awful. But enough about that. We'll talk about the actual sports. NBA Finals are set. It's going to be the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. Obviously, I'm here in Denver, so the hype is real. On Monday, we had the Game 7 of Heat versus the Celtics. Could have been a historic comeback for the Celtics, coming back from 0-3 to win the series. Didn't work out like that. Didn't work out like that at all. Jason Tatum gets hurt. They don't play the way they thought they would. The Heat, despite all of the momentum being against them, push forward and make it work. They're going to the finals. The second 8 seed ever to make the finals. First since the 1999 New York Knicks. Patrick Ewing. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting if you are a Heat fan after everything that went down, being able to make it all the way here. And now you face off against a Nuggets team that obviously was the number 1 seed in the West. They were so good this year. And they just swept through the Lakers. They now have had over a week of rest. And that's where rest versus rust starts coming in. Oh, is it a case where it's, the Nuggets have too much rest? They've already, they aren't ready to play? Or is it where the Heat are tired out? That was the one thing I was saying. Maybe the best case scenario for the Nuggets would be, hey, the Heat play, all these days straight, and then the Nuggets gets to rest up. So, I don't know. If I were to guess, I'd say Nuggets in 6 in this series. Also, it's another thing where it's, I guess you could say that with the kind of mission that the Heat have been on, they've been kind of like, this is like the final boss of their mission. They have the Nuggets, they have the Bucks, and then they have they have the Celtics, they have all these other things. And now finally they face off against the Nuggets. But at the same time, they've won 3 championships as a franchise. The Nuggets have never been to the finals. So, either way, there's some storyline you can root for, either side. I'm saying Nuggets in 6. I think they have a much stronger team. They have the guy who should have been the MVP in Jokic. Last year, the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup. We'll talk about the Stanley Cup later in the week, because it's going to start later in the week. Last year, the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup in 6 games. I think the Nuggets end up winning the NBA Finals in 6 games. But I'll have a more in-depth talk about the finals coming up. That's going to be coming out by tomorrow morning for the people. Mr. Zach Lyons is in the comments here. Hopefully he can join me for that preview. So that's very exciting. And other big sports news, and everyone's talking about this, and I think I need to discuss this as maybe, the biggest MJ guy out there in the MJ-LeBron debate wars, Scottie Pippen. So he goes on Stacey King's podcast, the Give Me the Hot Sauce podcast with Stacey King, his former teammate. He was on championship teams with him and Jordan, and now he's the color commentator for the Bulls. He comes on that podcast, and he says, before I was there, Jordan, he was trash. He was taking trash shots, bad teammate, yada, 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 yada. And then after I came, then we started winning. And I heard people in the media being like, this is crazy. Shouldn't Bulls be freaking out? Bulls fans be freaking out more about this? Listen, if you've been paying attention at all, the last few years, Scottie Pippen has been making these kind of comments. He's been coming out here saying, well, I don't know this and this and this about Jordan. And he's been up in LeBron. He's been down on Jordan. And, it has to be tough living in the shadow of Jordan. He's like the greatest of all time, and you're kind of seen as kind of the Robin Hood to his Batman. And then on top of all that, there's been all the rumors. I did a TikTok about this earlier. There's all these rumors about him and about his ex-wife, Larsa, and Michael Jordan's son, Marcus. They're together. They're dating, and they might get engaged soon. So imagine that. Imagine being in that kind of position where you see your ex-wife leave you and go to your teammate's son. The guy whose shadow you've lived in, his son is the guy that's now dating and might marry your ex-wife. And you're getting asked constantly, every interview, about those teams, and about Jordan, and about the MJ LeBron debate, and about this, and about that. And it's important to say, Scottie Pippen, incredible player. One of the best to ever do it. Obviously, there's a reason why after he came there, Jordan was able to win 6 rings. It's undeniable that he was crucial to that. Crucial. At the same time, saying that he was trash when he was, I would say, a superstar player before Pippen got there. I would definitely say a superstar player. Obviously, he was a superstar player who had not gotten to the pinnacle yet, who hadn't reached the peak. But he was still a superstar player before Pippen got there. So, calling him trash and kind of trying to up yourself in there, it seems kind of selfish. It seems like kind of a jerk move. Not very nice. I get why he's upset, why he's not happy with Jordan and with the whole Jordan crew. But come on, man. You got to just take it from here down to here for once. It's getting a little ridiculous. At least, my opinion, whatever you have to say about it, but it's getting ridiculous. Come on, guys. That about wraps it up. Thank you all for watching and or listening. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Ice Cold Sports, at Ice Cold SPRTS on Twitter, Instagram, at Tommy SGAHAM, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Go to icecoldsports.com to see my articles, all those good things. And that about wraps up, folks. I'm Tom again, and this has been Ice Cold Sports. See you guys. Bang.